Forgiveness is the key to set you free emotionally. A lot of people don't understand what forgiveness is really about, and they think that forgiveness is letting the other person off the hook. That's not what forgiveness is about at all. What forgiveness is it's an energetic release for you. Because when someone does us wrong, they've hurt us in some type of way, we tend to hang on to emotions like anger and resentment towards that person and what they did to us. And we carry the anger and resentment around with us as we go about our life. And so by suppressing this anger and resentment into the body, it keeps you in low vibrations. It makes you unhappy. And so by forgiving people, you have this energetic release because you're releasing the emotions of anger and resentment. It frees you emotionally, which will naturally raise your vibration permanently, and that will lead you to be a much happier person in your life. So forgiveness is not about the other person, it's about you. Having this energetic release so that basically you can be a happier person. So you can forgive someone without telling that person that you forgive them. You can forgive someone without ever talking to them again. You can forgive someone without having them back in your life. You can also forgive someone that's already passed away. Like if you have a parent that you've got resentment towards and they've passed away, you can still forgive them and let that anger and resentment go. Because it's not about that person. It's for you. And I am going to share my own experience of forgiving, because what ended up happening is I was very angry towards my own family. I had a lot of resentment and I held onto a grudge towards them for over 10 years. So a little bit about my childhood. I had a lot of childhood wounds and traumas, right? I was born into a broken home. I was abandoned by my dad. He went and lived in another country from when I was like maybe 1 or 2. He completely abandoned his responsibilities as a parent. I was also bullied by my older brother. I had a mum that was emotionally unavailable, so she emotionally abandoned me as well. And all of these experiences basically led me to suppress a lot. I suppressed everything in childhood. I was emotionally disconnected and just bottled everything up. I hid my vulnerable side, right? And then that led me to become a very angry person. Around the age of like 11 or 12 was when I started developing anger problems. And then I became this angry teenager because of all the childhood crap that I had bottled up and suppressed. And then that led me to getting kicked out of home as a late teen. And then when I got kicked out of home, that's when I kept my distance from my family for the next 10 or so years. I was so angry towards them. I had all this resentment, and I was a very unhappy person. I was very low vibrational, negative, pessimistic. I had the victim mentality. And, 10 years is a long time feeling that way, hanging on to all of that. So when I got to the age of 30, that's when I realized, or I had this like intuitive feeling to forgive and let it go. So I did. I forgave my family, I let it go, and I allowed them back into my life, which that is my choice to allow them back in. Like you don't have to allow people back in if you feel like they're still toxic. But I chose to allow them back in. And so for the last 6 years, I've been on good terms with my family. And I can tell you from forgiving and releasing that after hanging on to the anger and resentment for over 10 years, man, it was so freeing. I became a much happier person. I felt the anger and I felt like the energetic release. I felt so much lighter when I forgave and let it all go. And it just permanently raised my vibration. So I'm a much happier, more positive person. Because of that, I have more positive experiences in my reality. And so that's what I mean. It's like, it's for you, it frees you emotionally, it frees you energetically, and it will raise your vibration. So now how do we get to that place of forgiveness? I'm going to share some tips with you. So the first tip I have is acceptance. So acceptance is a high vibrational frequency on the scale of consciousness. It vibrates at 350. So any frequency above 200 is a positive frequency. And so I learned to just accept my family. I learned to accept the situation with my parents, with my dad abandoning me, my mum being emotionally unavailable, my brother bullying me. I learned to just accept it because I can't do anything to change it, right? So I just accept it for what it is, all right? This is the situation. And then we go on to the next step, which is using the reframe technique. So realize that in life, there is no built-in meaning. It's neutral. It's you that gives things meaning. So for example, you may have someone that lives in an area where it rains a lot. And so the meaning they give to rain is negative. They just can't stand the rain. They wish they would have sun. Like, why can't this rain just go away? And then you have someone that lives in a really dry area that hardly gets rain. So when it does rain, they're so happy. The meaning they give to rain is positive. Like, yes, we finally get to have some rain. So there's no built-in meaning. It's you that gives things meaning. And when someone does us wrong, of course, we usually give it a negative meaning. We tell this story of how you're a victim and this wasn't fair and this person did me wrong and that they should pay. The ego mind likes to tell these stories. So it's changing the meaning that you gave it, right? So to do that, you look for how the situation served you. Because in the negative experiences, there is a gift. And the gift is a lesson. There's a lesson in it for you to learn. So part of the reason, well, I think the main reason we're really here having this human experience is we're just on a journey to experience positive things, negative things, and it's about soul growth and evolution. You do not learn anything from the good times. So you're not going to cause your soul to grow and evolve from if you only ever have positive experiences. This is why negative experiences is important, right? Even though at the moment they may suck, going through it, maybe a hard time you wish you didn't have to deal with. But on a deeper level, this is all about soul growth and evolution. So all these negative experiences are trying to teach you something. There's a lesson in it for you. So instead of looking at it like I'm a poor little victim and this is happening to me, you reframe it that this is happening for me because it's serving me in some type of way. It's trying to show me something. It's trying to bring something into my awareness. And so you look for how it served you and then give it the positive meaning. So for me, it's like instead of giving my childhood this negative meaning of poor me, I'm a little victim, I was abandoned by my dad, I was bullied by my brother, it's so unfair, it shouldn't have happened like that. Instead of telling that story and giving it that meaning, I changed it to, well, it served me because this led me to having a spiritual awakening. Like, you don't have a spiritual awakening just come out of nowhere. It doesn't come from a life of rainbows and unicorns. It comes from pain and suffering. Something needs to happen that creates this pressure within you that causes the awakening. So I reframed my childhood like, oh, it served me this way because I'm now spiritually awake and aware to what we truly are, to what reality is. I discovered really cool people like Bob Proctor, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Like Dr. Joe Dispenza's work that he's doing, you know, he's incorporating a lot of the science into spirituality. And it's just so mind-blowing what he's proving with science. And it's like, I feel so grateful to know that this guy exists and be aware of his work. So I can see how, even though at the time I was going through it as a child, it was difficult, I'm like, oh, this led me to the path I'm on now. If I didn't have my difficult childhood, I wouldn't be sitting here making this video right now. I wouldn't be on this mission to be in service to other and creating videos to help other people. So it has that like ripple effect, right? So when you can give it that positive meaning, because meaning controls your emotional state, you will then naturally feel more positive about it. And that's how you're able to be okay with the situation and let it go. So remember, when you experience a negative experience, ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is the lesson here? Now, my next tip for, as you're working through this forgiveness process, right? You may have negative emotions coming up. So you want to release these emotions. You don't want to suppress them in the body, because all of us have a lot of negative suppressed emotions in the body that creates problems. So if you're working through forgiving someone and you notice you're feeling like these negative emotions, like you may feel the resentment coming up, accept the emotion, because we usually resist the negative emotions. So just accept the emotion without judgment. Allow it to be there, because we don't allow it to be there, we resist it. And you just sit with it, be present with it, and observe it, because you're not your emotions. You're the conscious being that can take the step back and observe your emotions. And observe just the physical sensations in the body. You don't want to be in your head about it, like you're thinking about it and stewing on it. That's not helpful. It's more about tuning into the body and just being present and just observing the physical sensations in your body. And by doing this, you are allowing the emotion to run its course. The emotion will then clear itself out. So you're not suppressing it in the body. It leaves your body. And you know you've successfully released an emotion when you feel lighter and uplifted. You just naturally will just feel more positive, and you'll feel it release, basically. And then my last tip that you could try also is an ancient Hawaiian practice called Ho'oponopono. So this practice is basically to do with cleaning up your own energetic field, because everything outside of us is just a reflection of us. Like the outer reality is a mirror, and it's reflecting our internal environment. So what Ho'oponopono is about is it's about taking responsibility for what's in your own field that other people are reflecting back to you. And I know that can kind of rub people up the wrong way as well when they first learn about this practice. Like, for example, it's like, why should I use this practice to take responsibility for, like, my dad abandoning me because I was just a little kid? Why should I be taking that responsibility? You know what I mean? However, I do know our souls plan the scenario out before incarnating on Earth. So we plan everything out for learning the lessons, for soul growth and evolution. So what this practice is it's basically you go into a meditation, you think of someone that you need to forgive, and you repeat the same 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And you just repeat them over and over and over whilst thinking about this person. And you will naturally get to that place of forgiveness and letting it go. Now you can find these types of like Ho'oponopono meditations on YouTube if you just want to search one up. I'm going to make my own one at some point soon and dropping it on my YouTube channel because I think, you know, it's a good practice to use. And, you know, there's a lot of evidence of like positive benefits from applying this practice. So that's another great practice for just cleaning up your energetic field, clearing things out that's getting reflected back in your reality, and getting to that place of forgiving and letting go. So I hope you liked this video and you got some sort of value. And if you did, just smash the like button or write a comment, because engaging with the video helps to push it out to more people. And I think this is a great message, you know, a lot of people need to hear. And also, if you like this sort of content, make sure you subscribe. And thanks for watching. Have an awesome day. I'll link another follow-up video here if you want to watch more.